Know Your Candidate. Presented by Portland is Possible, broadcasted by XRAY FM. In this segment, we offer a brief background on the visionary candidates that are proudly standing and running for Portland mayor. The new mayor position is different. They will provide the city administrator that will be confirmed by the majority of the 12 members of the Portland Area City Council. Characteristics of the new mayor-council form of government: mayor is elected separately from the council, is often full-time and paid, with significant administrative authority. Depending on the municipal charter, the mayor could have weak or strong powers. Council is elected and maintains legislative powers.
My name is Rene Gonzalez. I'm a Portland City Commissioner, fifth-generation Portlander.
How should the city of Portland plan for future revenue needs?
One of our biggest opportunities is the corporate surcharge that funds PSEF. It's raised 7 times what we originally anticipated, and I think some of those excess dollars can be redeployed to support core city infrastructure and services. Second, we have to retain our residents and businesses, and that means creating an environment where they choose to stay in the city core. We're having a lot of volatility on that front right now because of recent years declining public safety and business climate in the city, as well as our tax burden overall. But we've got to get that equation right for businesses to stay in the city core. That gives us more visibility as to dollars coming in.
After they are elected, the new city council will have the opportunity to decide how committees work and how decisions get made. What is one thing you would advocate for in that process to help the city be nimble and responsive to opportunity?
Our organizational units for budgeting are too granular. They're a legacy of the commission form of government. We need to go up a level so that when we're responding quickly in the city to an opportunity or a crisis, we don't need to go back and fully amend our budget.
As mayor, who would you go to first when looking for ideas and insights for developing a vision for the city's future?
Well, this is a real transformative moment in the history of Western cities. We don't entirely know what a post-pandemic city looks like that's thriving and is healthy. And so in some ways, it's a clean slate. There are some great urban thinkers right now as to what's going to attract people into cities, not just to live and to work, but also to play. And so I think we look at some of that literature in terms of how we can project cities can succeed in this coming post-pandemic world. Second, we have often been focused on national and international issues as we make really important decisions for the city of Portland. When we talk about a strategic plan, we really need to lean in on our existing assets, our existing culture. And so while we may look nationally and even internationally for ideas on what cities should look like, the scoping of our vision for the city really, to me, needs to be centered on a wonderful place for families to grow, seniors to age in place, and entrepreneurs and builders to thrive. And that's, in some ways, is going to be internally focused, voices from within the city.
Should the city of Portland be incentivizing building new large venues here? How does whether the project is locally owned affect your view of these projects?
Well, in terms of locally owned, we need people with skin in the game, not just for a financial return, but in terms of committing to the community and that we get broader benefits in addition to economic ones for these type of projects. We also need respect for our unique culture in the city of Portland. And so local ownership, local skin in the game is essential for all of those. In terms of incentivizing investment for performance venues, at times it's necessary and essential. We can often stack those dollars between the city, Prosper, and sometimes even state monies to come in. But society, our city, needs real financial return for those investments. There should be a multiplying effect for those dollars invested. And there also needs to be a real pathway to true social effervescence. When we're talking about venues, it's about creating a place where people are happy and connecting and engaging with the art. So it needs to pencil out from an economic perspective, and it needs to pencil out from a social effervescence perspective.
As Portland develops a vision for the future of the city, what are 2 groups or communities that are not always at the table that you are committed to engaging?
I don't think we've always engaged effectively with families. There's a lot of voices in the city but those that are raising children here and hoping to create a space for them to come back to are not often included in core city decisions. Second, our industrial hubs in the city, our industrial districts, have been a major contributor of family wage jobs for generations, going back to the first days of the Port of Portland and the merging of a lot of manufacturer industrial jobs in the city. They often feel excluded. They're not necessarily central to things like the Portland Chamber of Commerce. They feel like they're isolated, and we need to bring them into the discussion, particularly on topics of economic development.
Lightning round. If you had $5 million, what is one thing you would buy for Portland?
We need a sobering center for those with high acuity.
Would you describe Portland as more grunge, more jazz, or more indie pop?
Jazz.
What's a single word you would want to use to describe Portland in 30 years?
Thriving.
What's the last show or performance you saw?
Ben Harper.
What's the most Portlandy thing you have seen this week?
Neighborhood bands playing at a neighborhood block party under big 100-year-old trees.
So now you know your candidate, or a bit about them. We like to thank the visionary candidates, also like to especially thank all the volunteers and organizations that put this together. We couldn't do this without you. To look at each candidate, be a good Portland citizen, and to be a dashing and informed voter, listen to XRAY FM to learn about ballots and the new ranked choice voting system. And check out portlandpossible.org.